Hi there. We have a problem which I want to discuss with you. I've been going through the social media and I've seen Kenyans actually sharing out there that the cost of electricity has increased. In essence, people are not getting the same units of electricity which they are getting 2 weeks ago. And even for those who are being billed, they are saying they're getting bills of somewhere between 20 to 40% more from the previous bills. That's what I want to discuss. And yes, it's true. The price of electricity in the country has increased. I'm going to discuss that, also discuss what it means for our country, and most importantly, share with you 5 things which you could possibly do to ensure you cushion yourself against this and even any other future eventualities out there relating to economic measures being put in place by the government. Having said that, you are all much welcome to the Money Daily YouTube channel. My name is Afagza Sifunam. And by the way, if you're new here, kindly consider subscribing to this channel. Subscribe for you to be getting awesome insights each and every day with regards to how you can multiply your money and also with regards to current affairs. Having said that, we are all aware, since yesterday, there has been trending news around fuel in the country. You know, the price of fuel increasing by an average of 20% across the different offerings out there, whether it's kerosene, petrol, or even diesel. But what most Kenyans don't know is actually the price of electricity was increased a week prior. For now, about 1 week, yes, for about 1 week, the price of electricity in the country has been increased. And actually, this happened very silently. Energy and Petroleum Regulation Authority, which actually announces, issues relating to prices of such kind of energy matters in the country, also quietly hiked the price of electricity in the country. And this happened because the pass-through costs which relate to electricity were actually hiked. In essence, costs around fuel, foreign exchange, which is Forex, and also inflation adjustment. And with this, there was a bump in the price of electricity. To give you an example, we saw, for example, an increase of about 25 shillings for an average consumer out there who consumes 100 kilowatt hour of electricity per month. And to break it down for you further, let me take an example. In case you've topped up with, for example, 1,000 Kenyan shillings over the past 2-3 days, you might have realized that normally you used to get somewhere between 45 to 46 units, right? But now with the current recent top up, you're only getting somewhere between 39 to 40 units. Guys, we're talking about a drop of about 12-15% with regards to the units of electricity you're getting with the top up you used to do. This actually tells you is bound to affect all of us out there. And this so because of that hike on the pass-through costs relating to electricity. And of course, this is going to have a very, very serious consequence in the economy because we all understand, it is fuel and also electricity which drives the economy. To give you an example, for you to move from one point to another, you're going to require fuel, right? Think about, for example, in case someone has, for example, a restaurant business, yes? For them to be able to, for example, cook and even to be able to maybe even light up their particular establishment, they're going to need electricity and fuel. So ultimately, we're going to see all these translating into the increase in cost of living. So given that's the case, what could you possibly do to ensure at least you cushion yourself from these dire consequences, not even for this electricity hike, but even for the future such economic measures? I want to share with you 5 things which you could possibly do. The very first thing is you need to understand that budgeting is very important. And of course, also understand that you can actually adjust your budget as and when time asks for. So in light of all these, you could possibly see how to refine your budget to ensure, for example, you get some money from elsewhere to have a buffer on electricity, to have a buffer, for example, on fuel and so forth. Because if you don't do that, most likely you're gonna end up, for example, digging deeper into some other budget lines to be able to cover for these unfortunate but the realistic eventualities relating to, for example, electricity and even fuel, right? So ensure you budget appropriately and hopefully you're gonna be able to cover the entire spectrum of your expenses, your liabilities, and even have some money, for example, to invest in assets out there, right? And then the second thing you could possibly do is to basically stop wasting money. A lot of us out there, for example, go about purchasing things which you don't really need. And of course, they are purchasing in the illusion that they have money, yet in the reality that this is the money they haven't budgeted for, or even it is money they are budgeted for by just digging into other budget lines to cater for their own impromptu interests. So just cut off on spending money and actually buying things in impromptu fashion. And you're going to be able to plan yourself better. And most likely, you're going to have money to cater for all this hard economic times which require for expenses out there which are more costly, and even most importantly, you're going to have, for example, money in savings or even investment. And talking about investments, the third thing you need to do is actually start investing. In case, for example, you have idle money lying somewhere, for example, in a bank account, think about investing. Investing could be a better option. And I'm saying so because by you investing, even, for example, you're going to be able to diversify your investments, even hold some of your investment, for example, in foreign currencies. In case, for example, the Kenyan shilling takes a hit, for example, depreciates against other currencies out there, you're going to be able to get back the equivalent value at that particular point in time because invested and actually diversified in different assets there out there. For example, delving in Forex, for example, jumping in stock market, and so forth. You're going to be able to actually invest and diversify your portfolio for you to be able to have a much safer landing. And then, relating to that, a fourth thing which you need to do is actually ensure you diversify your income. And I'm saying so because what we're seeing at the moment is actually certain specific changes, right? And with these, there come their effects. Think about it, for example. In case someone, for example, is working in the energy sector, in case the sale of petrol out there, the sale of diesel out there, the sales go down, most likely people are going to lose their jobs out there. And by the way, that's not realistic, but this can be transferable in other industry out there. In case there is dip in sales, people might end up losing their jobs, right? And in case you're just relying on your salary for your income, you may take a very huge hit. That's why it is important to diversify your sources of income, open a business, okay? Even do some other hustles around the skills. Some people might be knowing how to do, for example, online writing. Delve into that. Ensure, for example, you have multiple streams of income so that in case one takes a hit, you can be able to cushion yourself with the other streams of income. And then the last thing, which is very specific to this increase in the price of electricity and also fuel, is actually you restructuring how you go about utilizing electricity and even fuel in your household, right? There are those appliances out there, for example, which run all the time, and yet you don't really require for them to be running all the time. Switch this off to ensure you save on electricity, or even you could even cut on the trips, for example, you're making to save on fuel and so forth. I know it might be inconveniencing to your life, but at times it requires someone to take such measures for them to be able to cope up with the hard economic times. I hope you got a thing or two from this video. What do you think about these measures? Most importantly, what do you think about the hike in the price of electricity and also fuel which you saw yesterday? Thanks a lot for watching this video. I look forward to share with you other awesome videos next time. Bye bye and you all take care.